Hey everybody, John Osborne, Field CTO from Ascend.io here. One of the major features that we love about Ascend and Snowflake together is that we run Snowpark jobs really nicely. If you follow a tutorial that Snowflake has online here, getting started with Snowpark in Snowflake Python worksheets, if you follow this tutorial, it's fabulous first of all, but it takes many steps. So 6 steps to actually, or 7 to finish the task, including doing separate storage, saving data frames, and doing things on your own. With Ascend, it's really only 2 steps. It's ingesting data and then writing your business logic is what it comes down to. So you'll end up with a couple steps there, but all of the other stuff is platform managed. So what I like to do today is actually follow this guide with you in Ascend and show you how to do this in Ascend. So let's get started. If you set up the lab environment and you follow this with Snowflake, you'll end up with an environment that has data preloaded in it and has a nice Python script that they produce and output for you here. So I want to follow this Python script, but I'm going to do some extra work really quickly, and I'm going to ingest some data, and then I'm going to write transformations for that data. So let's go ahead and do that. We have spend and revenue data. I've taken the data that Snowflake used and put it in a CSV file as if it was in a S3 bucket, and we're going to start with those 2 files, and then we're going to write some queries. So let's get started. So in Ascend, we're going to create a read connector here, and I already have a S3 bucket configured that has the quick start data in it. So I'm going to load the campaign spend data first. We're going to call it spend. And then I know that this is a CSV file, and I also know that there's a header row, which makes it super easy to read the data in with the schema pre-calculated. Everything looks good, except this date here is a string. So I'm actually going to ask the platform to convert that to a date, because it is a date, and we're going to create that as is. So the spend data is importing. And then let's do the same for revenue. So we'll just do both of them right now, even though we're only going to use one of them first. Oops, I picked the wrong place. We're going to go back here and we're going to grab the Snowpark quick start. We're going to click revenue. We'll call it revenue. And then it is also a CSV file with a header row, and we will go ahead and generate that schema. The schema is a little simpler. But I have 2 integers, and then the revenue is a double. So we're going to import that. So we have our tables. We're importing them as we go. So let's move on. Here in the demo, they take the spend data and they do a group by query here. So let's create this Snowpark job in Ascend, and let's see how how easy that is. But 2, let's talk about it for a minute. So let's create a new transform, and we're going to do spend per channel is what it is. We're going to use Snowpark as our transformation engine. We're going to use the spend as our upstream input. And then I'm going to just remove this comment for brevity, and then we're going to put the Snowpark code in here. So you can see there's some predefined imports, the transform method, which expects a Snowpark data frame on the way back. And the list of inputs is the data frames. In this case, there's only one data frame. We'll call it df0 for the purposes of this. But when we return a data frame, that will end up automatically getting stored. So we're going to return, and we're going to operate on df0, and we're going to run these particular queries here. So we're going to take the query exactly the way Snowflake wrote it, group by. We have to make a couple tweaks here just because of the way the imports work. We, as a default at Ascend, import all the functions as capital F period. That's simply so that you don't have to worry about importing all of them, or you don't have to worry about which ones you're using or not. So I'm going to put the F period in front of all of those so that the Python engine will understand it, and we're done. So let's go ahead and create our spend per channel transformation. So that step done. Totally, and you don't have to see it or print anything. Ascend is going to operate against that. As the data comes up, you can look at the records. You don't have to run a query. It's all interactive on Ascend. So let's go down to the second. The second query they did was a little more complicated. It's a pivot with a select. So this is spend per month using the spend per channel data as an input. So because we're using spend per channel, let's just go here and we're going to create yet another transform. This is going to be spend per month, we know, so let's call it that. We're going to use Snowpark here. And then I'm going to take my Snowpark. I'm going to replace, let's remove the comment. And whoops, I'm going to replace the spend per channel. I'm going to replace the output with the df0 because that's the data frame we're going to operate against. And we have this nice pivot here, which we're going to use. For some reason, Snowflake did this in 2 statements. They took the outcome of this one and fed it back into this one. So we're just gonna combine this into 1 statement, and we're just gonna make a line continuation and put our select statement in there. And then I noticed that I need a closing parenthesis, so we'll put that in there. And then again, these columns are actual functions that need to be imported. So I'm just gonna paste the f.call in here, so that the Python parser understands us. And then we have a nice pivot here, which is pivoting by these values, doing some summing, and then we're going to select these columns back out. So let's go ahead and create the second transform. So spend per month, done. Notice when they come here, they then create a revenue. This is revenue per month. So let's take the input of the revenue and we'll create revenue per month. So let's go back here. This time we're going to use the revenue that we already imported. We're going to create a new transform here. It's going to be a Snowpark transform also. Revenue per month. We'll give it a decent name. And then I'll do this in full screen mode. We'll reduce, get rid of the comment. And we're going to return the input data frame, so df0, grouped by year, month, and we're going to aggregate. Again, sum is a function, so we're going to do f.sum, and then a little sort with some column renamings. So let's take that. So basically a cut and paste job for revenue per month. So if we look at where we're at with that, we're down here to the revenue by month group by. And now the final outcome of this entire thing here is the joining the spend joined to the revenue per month. So let's go ahead and do that. It's a little different than doing a normal query, a normal transform in Ascend, but let's do this. So we're gonna create a new transform. In this case, we're gonna do this. We'll just call this business outcomes, and then we want to use Snowpark again. We're going to use spend per month as the first input, but in this case we need another input because we're going to do the join. So we're going to do revenue per month as the other input, which is just exactly what they had here: spend per month joined with revenue per month. So we're gonna do that here. We're then going to make this full screen so it's easier to look at, and we're going to simply take our inputs, input 0 and input 1, and we're just going to return those. So return input 0, which was spend, and we're going to join that to input 1. Input 1, I forgot an S there. Inputs 0 joined with inputs 1. This is an alias for the spend. This is the revenue, and we're joining on year and month column. So let's make that happen. And there we go. So now we can see not only did we create everything, the records are here. There's no need to go and do extra queries. We have interactive views there. We can see that the DAG is updated, so I have a lineage here for spend. I have my revenue lineage here. Both of those terminate here in our business outcomes, which Snowflake was looking for here at the end. And they've done some overwrite, save as table things. These things are all automatically managed by Ascend. So hope you enjoyed this quick tutorial. I encourage you to follow the Snowflake demo online and then come and try it in Ascend and let us know what you think. Thanks a lot.